Down the Mine begins with Thomas smelling a smelly type of smell.
A smelly smell that smells smelly.
Thomas then says that the smell smells like ditch water, referring to the events of the last episode where Gordon fell down the ditch, and Annie and Clarabelle think that Thomas was being very rude to Gordon. Thomas puts Annie and Clarabelle away and chugs on down over to the mine to do some stuff. He notices a sign that says that engines shouldn't be around this area, and I bet you a good dollar bill that Thomas ends up going anyway, and what do you know, he ends up going anyway, and he crashes into a big old ditch. So Sir Topham Hatt sends in Gordon to get Thomas out, yada yada yada, lessons learned. And the final episode of the season is the Christmas episode, so Merry Christmas everybody! I should point out that I am recording this video in summer. Does it feel like it? Absolutely not, but it's still summer! It's Christmas time on the island of Sodor, and Thomas and his friends want to put on an appreciation Christmas party for a nice little old lady named Miss Kindly. But there's only one problem. Her house has been snowed in. So Thomas and Toby head over to her house to clear the path. At first, it's a little rough. They don't think they can get everything. But luckily, Terrence the tractor comes by to finish the job, and they're even able to bring Miss Kindly back to the sheds, which is beautifully decorated in Christmas decorations. And, you know what? I have to say that this episode, like the Christmas episode in particular, is kind of a cute, fun little way to end off the season. Down the Mine was also a pretty decent episode. A typical Thomas and Friends story structure. Thomas is told not to do something, does it anyway, realizes he screwed up, lessons are learned, cute and harmless fun. And the Christmas episode that ended off the whole season was also very charming, very sweet. This might become a new Christmas tradition. It used to be for a very long time, but I might start watching this every Christmas now. This was very sweet to rewatch. I messed up the camera. It's currently 9:07 p.m. on August 16th, 2022. I began working on this back in February. Don't ask why it took me 6 months to watch 13 episodes of a children's show about talking trains. And I gotta make, 15 more of these? Jesus Christ. So we have officially finished Season 1 of Thomas and Friends, and what are my overall thoughts of the season? If there's one way to describe the very first season of Thomas and Friends, it's most likely charming. Thomas and Friends, at least in Season 1, is a very charming kids show. You get to learn some fun little life lessons with the many misadventures of these talking trains. In fact, according to Lemon, from the hit film Bullet Train, he learned a lot about people through Thomas and Friends. If you haven't seen Bullet Train, please do. It's a really good movie. But what have we learned through Thomas and Friends? Well, we learned to have fun. We learned to be kind to each other. We learned to be really useful. We actually haven't learned to be really useful yet. That comes later into the show, but oh boy, is it gonna be something. We also learned that children in Thomas and Friends just sucks. Like, remember those kids that just threw rocks on Henry? But even very on, we started to notice the more screwed up side of Thomas and Friends. Like in literally the very third episode, The Sad Story of Henry, like they just refused to let Henry out of that tunnel, even though he just didn't want to get his beautiful new coat of green paint wet. And they just like buried him up in there, and they were like, alright, fine bro, you don't want to come out, you're not gonna. Like, it's that incident that I think is probably the most popular instance of how screwed up Thomas and Friends is. Like that is always the main factor point in like a video that says
Thomas the Tank Engine is way darker than you remember.
but the show gets very screwed up. We haven't even got to the friggin' scrapyard yet, but stay tuned. But mainly, I love how simple season 1 is. For the most part, we mainly just stick on the main line of the island of Sodor. We only see 5 engines at the very beginning of the season: Thomas, Edward, James, Gordon, and Henry. Although we do get introduced to a couple other characters, most notably Sir Topham Hatt, and some characters such as Bertie the Bus and Terrence the Tractor, and we eventually get some new trains such as Percy and Toby. But somewhere down the road, we're going to get to the point where there are so many different trains and characters that it kind of gets exhausting. So, savor the minimal amount of characters while we can. So overall, Season 1 of Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends is a genuinely fun, charming children's show that, you know what, I wouldn't mind watching by myself, not related for a video, sometime in the future, because the grand majority of these episodes, with 1 or 2 exceptions, is very charming and very cute, very wholesome, very simple, very timeless. Like, any kid can watch these and have a good time. Even some adults can watch them and have a good time. It's a very charming kids show. But that will be it for this video. If you did enjoy it, then please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and ring the bell to be notified of when future videos are uploaded. And if we get to 300 subscribers by the end of the year, then I will make one giant video reviewing every SpongeBob video game. But if you want to see that happen, then please hit the subscribe button. And tune in tomorrow, where we will begin looking at Thomas and Friends Season 2. But until then, I'll see you later. Bye!